Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Anime Opinions. Today we got a few big names like My Hero, One Punch, and Neon Genesis Evangelion. But just a friendly reminder, y'all, I ain't no weeb. Alright, let's get that straight. I'm just a normal dude who enjoys watching Japanese cartoons from time to time. With that being said, let's jump right into this. Future Diaries. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't remember too much about this anime, and I feel like this is an anime that is widely forgotten about or even not talked enough about. And I'm not exactly sure why. Like, it can be kind of forgettable, but that doesn't mean that it's bad at all. This show is actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. Think of the show kind of like a Death Note clone. Very similar concept. In Death Note, you have the Death Note. In this, you have a cell phone that pretty much tells you what the future is. It's a very similar concept, it's just not executed as well as Death Note's. And the main character kind of has a lot of similar traits as Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul. He starts off as a little bitch who can't do shit for himself, and then turns into a badass in the last few episodes. The show is actually really good. There's a ton of plot twists and a lot of big brain moments, especially in the last few episodes. I don't think I really have anything unpopular to say about the show other than the fact that it's kind of forgettable, and it shouldn't be forgettable because it's good. Like I said, overall it's pretty good. It's worth a watch. You just might forget about it. That's all. My Hero Academia nuts. Okay, My Hero is interesting as fuck. A lot of people love this show and are super mega fans of it. Super popular. Like, you can go into Hot Topic and you'll find My Hero Academia merch all over their wall, right? I can kind of see why, but this show is not anything super special in my opinion. The story is nothing super crazy or complicated. I mean, it's easy to pick up, it's easy to digest, but I feel like nothing's really happening of major significance. Like, all that's going on is Deku's just learning how to use his power, and that's pretty much it. Like, they get attacked by some villains here and there. The All for One arc was actually probably the best in the show so far, but even then, it was only a few episodes long. Don't get me wrong, this show is good, but it's pretty basic. Definitely not on the same level as Death Note or Attack on Titan. Neon Genesis Evangelion. This show is considered to be the ultimate classic masterpiece of an anime. But what do I think of it? Is it actually as good as everyone makes it out to be? Does everyone just have rose-tinted, nostalgia glasses on? Or is this show actually a genuine masterpiece? Well, let's find out what my opinion is on Neon Genesis Evangelion. For starts, just gonna throw this out here, I'm not the biggest fan of mechs or shows or movies about mechs or giant people and robots fighting. It's not really my thing. Even though this is coming from the person who literally plays D.Va in Overwatch. I know. But that's not the point. This show made me realize that this isn't just a show about people fighting in giant robots. It's much more than that. It touches on so many different topics and is executed very, very well. There is a lot of times where I had no idea what was going on. I kind of got lost in the show from time to time. Especially the last two episodes. And those of you who have seen the show know exactly what I'm talking about. The last two episodes are so confusing, and it's almost needed to either A, watch it again, or B, look up true meetings on YouTube or Google. This is a show that can really confuse people the first time around. It's I feel like this is one of those shows you won't really get or understand just by watching it once. No, you gotta watch this show a couple times to fully understand everything that this show is trying to tell you. The 90s art style and sound effects are absolutely amazing, and they still hold up 25 years later, and I think it will till the end of time. I love this art style of 90s anime, and this show is definitely the peak of that art style. It's just so good. There's only one thing that I dislike about this show, and it's the fucking sound of the cicadas during the school scenes. The sound is so annoying and so repetitive and so loud, I was losing my fucking mind hoping that these school scenes would be over before I got a headache from this sound effect. It was so annoying, obnoxious, not needed at all either. So overall, that's really the only complaint that I have about this show. That, and maybe it's a little confusing to follow, but I don't think I'm gonna dock it any points for that, because sometimes that really adds to an overall show and it really gives you a sense to rewatch it and spend a little bit more time with it. And I am totally okay with spending more time with a show that looks this gorgeous. But yeah, overall, this show is really good. Again, a little hard to follow, but it's super good. Do I consider it the classic masterpiece of an anime? Probably. I think it really holds up. I think it is one of the best classic animes out there to watch, and it's not like a Naruto or One Piece 4 billion episodes long. No, it's like 20 something episodes long, so it's not that bad. You're not going to spend an entire 4 years of your life watching this show. No, you can probably binge it all in a day if you really wanted to. The Promised Neverland Season 1. Okay, so I've heard about this show here and there, but not too much. Not as much as I should be hearing about this show. This show is fucking fantastic. And again, I hate to continuously compare shows like this, but think of this show like you would Death Note, Future Diaries, and No Game, No Life. It is all the same, similar concept. They are all about mind-fucking the viewer while outsmarting the villain. But this show is just so damn good. I think it might actually be my most favorite anime of all time. It's about these kids who are orphans, and they live in an orphanage home, obviously, with all these other kids. There's like 20 or 30, 40, 50, 60 of them. I don't know. There's like at least 50 of them. And they all have a beautiful home, plenty of food, a massive yard to play in that's just closed off with a fence, so it's a good massive yard that's closed in, and all is nice. It's great. I mean, as good as it can be for an orphanage home. But some kids kind of notice something going on. When their brothers or sisters get adopted, they never receive any letters or anything or visits or nothing from them. They don't hear back from them, and it's really strange. But some of them kind of just shrug it off, thinking that, you know, maybe they've just forgotten about the orphanage home because life outside of it is just so damn good. Until they learn the real truth. The kids who are being adopted are actually being fed to these demon alien creatures. And this orphanage, it's just a farm to raise food for these demons. And two of the smartest kids find out about the truth and come up with a master plan to escape, and holy shit, it's so good. There's so many different, like, I don't want to say sub-arcs, but like subplots of like the mother and who she really is and why she's in the place she is and why she's doing what she's doing, and like, oh, it's just so crazy. There's so many plot twists. Like, for example, one of the kids knew about this for a long time. A kid that is under the age of 12 knew that for 6 years he had to pretend to the others that he didn't know anything. He had to pretend and that he didn't know every single time one of his siblings was getting adopted that they were actually all going to die. He could not show the emotion of that. All of that stress he had to hold in for like 6 years until it was finally time for him to lead the others and show the others that, hey, this is actually the truth and we got to get the fuck out of here before we die too. It's actually a super sad yet extremely interesting and thrilling show to watch. I watched the first episode with Olivia, my girlfriend, and she cried because it was so sad. Like, yes, this show is sad. It's about little kids under the age of 10 learning the truth and watching their siblings die. but also coming up with a master plan to completely escape and get away from all of this. Honestly, if I have to absolutely recommend one anime to everybody, all of the animes that I've watched, I would 100% recommend this one. Like, holy shit, it's so good. Season 2 has not come out yet. It was supposed to come out this year, but the whole COVID thing happened, so I think they have a plan for 2021. I'm really hoping that they don't fuck this show up, but they had a really good concept of what Season 2 is supposed to be. So I'm really hoping that they don't screw up Season 2. I hope that Season 2 is so good because, oh my gosh, this show is so fucking good. I am sorry for, like, fangirling over the show so much, but I have never actually sat down and binged an entire 12-episode anime show in 2 days, but this is the first time that I have ever done that. I will usually watch about 1 to 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes a night before bed of whatever current anime I'm watching. But with the Promised Neverlands, I said, fuck that. I'm spending my entire day, 1 to 2 sittings, watching this entire show because I could not stop watching it. After every single episode, I don't want to say that there's a cliffhanger at the end of every single episode, but they leave it so every single episode is like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? You're on the edge of your seat throughout the entire show. There's not a single dull moment in this show. And that is why I love it so much. It is so good. Okay, I'm going to stop fangirling about this show. Let's get on to the next anime. But seriously, watch this show. I'm only talking about including season 1 here, and I'll explain why. One Punch Man is supposed to be that anime that's like, it's like a joke anime, okay? Mixed fun of other animes. But I feel like there's no conflict, no story, nothing. It's just this bald dude legit punching everybody once, and the fight's over. There's nothing else really to it. I get that's the point of it, but I don't know, man. I just didn't really care for it, hence why I never watched season 2. I just felt like it was going to be more of the same. And that's all we got for today. If you guys happen to like this video, make sure you leave a like down below. If you happen to disagree with one of my opinions, make sure you leave a comment down below on why you disagree with me, and I'll make sure to get back to you. Make sure you guys stay subscribed for the next part of this video in this series. I think it's a big one that you will all enjoy.
Shut up! Get out of my face, you bitch!